Do you remember this one time you woke up in the morning and you were pissed at me because I was cheating in your dreams?
It was so uncalled for.
But why vent? You can just solve it.
It's not about that. You just need to show me a little love.
Just do it. It's right there.
We are actually expecting our men to know what we think.
We don't.
Why can't you?
My lovely wife.
Yes.
Sometimes when you have problems, either with your work or with your friends, you come back home, you complain, you tell me the story. What do?
We have gone through this many times, many fights, right? So eventually, I think I have figured out the system. So it's a very common thing. When they complain, guys expect solution, how to fix it. Most of the time when girls complain, we just want empathy. We just want someone to side with us. We don't need solution. Because sometimes
but what if
solution...
you're wrong? Okay, yes, please go on.
Most of the time, I'm not saying 100% of the time, but most of the time when female or when girls complain, we just need someone to side with us, to empathize. And eventually, if we need help, we will explicitly ask for help. So, for example, I come back home from work and I said, oh, my colleague is just nasty. They did this and did that and did this. And then you jump in and say, and why don't you do this and why don't you do that? That's actually pissed me off a lot more. All I want to do is just, yeah, that bitch. You're right. That's all. Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy in a marriage? You can only choose one.
The happy in the marriage. Okay, but I find it to be untrue that when you say you need help, you're going to say it out. Because sometimes when I don't do any actions, you're going to be like, why don't you help?
That's a hard way that I've learned. Actually, it's complicated because we are actually expecting our men to know what we think.
We don't.
Why can't you? Okay, anyway. That is some subconscious thinking. You know, like we want that. I know that it's unrealistic for that to happen. And that's why this topic of discussion is such a big thing. A lot of couples fight over, you know, like, why can't you listen? And men was like, why you complain so much? But when I try to give the solution, you don't take it. And then you are pissed at me. It's a classic problems. So what I figured out is that these days, I would approach you and the first thing I would say to you is that I just want to vent, listen. And you just have to listen. And if I need help, I would explicitly say, help. What do I do? And if your solution is something that I don't like, I'm going to be mad anyway. So I mean...
Yeah, I'll have no problem. I'll have no problem if you come up to me and say, I just want to vent, listen. I'll take that as a cue for me to just shut up. The problem comes in when you don't say that. And now I'm like, do I listen? Do I give a solution? What's the right cue here?
Ask. Do you need help? Do you need me to figure out something for you? Or is it better for you to, you know, let it out and feel better later? Just let me know.
Do you appreciate guys to ask you that just outright upfront? Like, do you need a solution or do you want me to listen?
I think it's more of how you say it rather than what you say it, right? So if I complain to you about some stuff in my life and it's like, okay, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want me to do? Do you want me to fix it? That's going to piss me because it's just the way that you say it.
Okay, what's the right way to say it?
So first of all, whenever someone comes to you, doesn't necessarily your girlfriend or your wife, any friends come to you complaining about something, show empathy. Show that, okay, sucks to be you. And then you subtly ask them if they want to offer help. Do you need help? Do you want me to do anything? And that's just a social cue that you need to pick up, whether it's like, nah, it's okay, or nah, really, it's fine. I just want to complain. You know, this is an art of communication. There is no manual to, you know, a complete successful way to deal with this. So yeah, it comes with lots of fight, lots of discussion, and eventually you just crack the code. You're going to make more mistake. I'm going to be more upset. But, it's going to work out.
The takeaway from this is show empathy and
Subtly offer.
subtly ask if
Yeah.
you'd like just a crying shoulder to lean on, or do you actually need a solution? What are the chances? Like, seriously, what's the ratio? How often do girls actually, or do you actually need help?
To me, I actually need help around 10% of the time.
Huh?
The rest, I just want to complain. I mean, in general, people are capable of, finishing their own problem. People are capable of dealing with their problems. All they need is just some time to process and some person to vent about. So, I mean, in the end, unlike guys, when guys come to you or when someone that you know to call you, not on a daily basis and say, hey, Kev, I have this problem. What should I do? And I believe even so, they also need to vent first. And they just want to hear that your solution match with their initial plans of doing. It's just like a confirmation. Obviously, there are times when they actually need genuine help. But a lot of times, they have their answers in their head. They just need a confirmation.
What if you have the answer? It's like, it's so easy to fix. Oftentimes when there are times where you come to me and the solution is just there. It's just there. But you're venting about it. And so when I'm looking at it, I'm going, but why vent when you can just do? It's like you can just solve it. So it's very hard to not bring it up, so to speak. It's just very hard. I try to shut up, but it's just like, just do it. It's right there.
Yeah, I know this is a problem of, and I think it is not in the relationship as well, but a lot of times you postpone dealing with the problem at hand and decided to do something else first. For example, venting or any other thing else because of fear. Because you fear that when you actually take action, it's going to fail. It's not going to work. It's going to be disappointing. So you prolong that process until internally you feel ready to face those fear. And if it's going to fail, you're ready to accept the failure. People have different time span of getting ready to face the problem. It's just a buffer before they actually jump into that problems. And there is no use of you trying to rush the person in if they're not ready. So I think the correct way is that to make them secure enough and comfortable enough for them to be able to face that problem on their own. And by that, being empathy, be on their side, listen, and subtly offer help from time to time. But it's annoying sometimes when I know that this is the way to solve the problem. I just need this a little bit of buffer to get from here to there. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I dozed off. What were you saying? No. Okay. I'm going to ask you a question for all the husbands out there and boyfriends out there.
Right.
When you're mad at me and I don't know why you're mad at me, and I ask you why you're mad at me, and you don't tell me why you're mad at me, what do I do?
Figure it out. Come on, you got a PhD.
PhD don't tell you why my wife is mad at me for no reason.
Okay, so let's go back to the root cause as why would I be mad at you, or why would someone be mad at one person and not tell why they're mad at them, right? First of all, there is this expectation of this thing called common sense that, wait, this is such a common sense, and why do you have to ask me? I'll give you a very extreme example. For example, we walk on the street together and then there is this hot girl walk past you and then you just turn your head 180 degrees and it's like, wow, look at that ass.
Rookie mistake. All right, okay.
This is an extreme example, right? And then you turn to me and I was already mad and you genuinely have no clue why I was mad. And I was like, why are you mad? And to me, well, isn't that obvious? You're just being a jerk right in front of me. You're just like drooling all over this girl's ass while I'm right next to you. And to you, what's the big deal? Because you're not going to do anything with the girl. You're not planning to take any kind of action. It was just like, an action while you're mad. So this thing is not even in your calculation as to something that you should be mad of. While the other person perceive this as, this is a common sense. And if you were to ask me why, then I don't think this conversation worth discussing anymore because we have totally different values.
That escalated quickly.
It's just an extreme example for me to give it to you. But to sum it up, is that sometimes little things that you did to me seems like a really common sense that it was perceived to be insensitive or not very nice whatsoever. And you didn't think the same way. And when you ask me, to me, it's like, isn't it obvious that what you did, like you went to coffee shop, buy yourself a coffee, and you didn't even think about me, even though I said I didn't want it, but I want you to want to know that I actually wanted to buy that. Anyway, so that's the little thing. Like you go to the supermarket, you ask me if I want anything, and I said, nah, I'm fine. You came back with your food, not mine. And I said, why don't you buy something for me? And you said, oh, because you said no. And I got mad. And you just have no idea why I was mad about, because you did everything correctly. And in my head, it was like, it's not about that. You just need to show me a little love. Even though I say no, just, grab a chocolate bar.
So why can't you just say yes?
Because at the time, I didn't know what I want, but I know that I want a gift or something. So I don't want a specific thing. I just want a gesture.
Okay, why can't you say that?
Because this thing has been told from generation to generation that girls being needy is not good and it's being suppressed. So in the end, it came out as subconsciously. Sometimes you can't even explain yourself why you feel the way you feel because it's embedded so deep down in your subconscious. And the next thing you already know is that he doesn't love me anymore because he doesn't buy anything back for me from the grocery store.
You're going to blame your ancestors for this?
Yeah. I do no wrong.
Okay, so what's the solution?
I think this is not a solution that the guy need to figure out alone. It's the communication. You just need to communicate with your partner. And if your partner is mature enough, after they're not at the peak of their anger, they can discuss. We can discuss on this. And it's like, I'm so sorry. I may have done something that you are not appreciative, but it would be helpful for our relationship if you would just let us know what it is. And a rational girl would be able to let you know. It may take hours of venting and little, say, you don't love me anymore. You weren't like this before, until you get to the point. But you're just gonna have to be patient.
Do you remember this one time you woke up in the morning and you were pissed at me because I was cheating in your dreams?
It was so uncalled for.
My point is, I was never going to know that. There was no way I could have noticed that.
Okay, serious. In all seriousness, that shouldn't be something that, you get mad at your husband or your boyfriend.
Thank you.
For that long. I mean,
thank you.
I have never been mad at you over a week because of that. Come on.
Yo.
I'm kidding. I'm not that type of person.
You were mad at me for sure, at least for the morning. I mean, you were mad. Okay, so I think the way you phrased it was, you're not explicitly mad at me, but you just don't want to talk to me for the morning. And I was like, what did I do?
I was in the middle of the emotional storm that may have caused by you in another realm. All you need to do is that just let me be and, just
Should I
do
apologize?
Your thing. That would be wise, yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, babe.
Apology may or may not accept it.